Hi, everyone. Welcome to Biohacking Beauty Podcast. My name is Eshel.
I'm Anastasia.
And the goal of the podcast is to marry between cutting-edge longevity research and your daily actions that you take for your skin health. And due to a popular demand, we today have a returning guest.
Yes, today we're joined again by Anastasia, Beauty Fascia. If you haven't checked out our first episode, please do so. So in the first episode, we really dove into some of her core principles. So Anastasia is board certified structural integration therapist and a founder of Beauty Fascia, which is like more of a method and a facial massage course that's built on fascia release and so much more. So in the first episode, which was foundational, we talked a lot about lymphatics, blood circulation, fascia, and kind of like the foundation of her method. And today, we're getting a lot more into some of the questions that you guys have been asking us, and would be love to learn also what she's thinking on some of the beauty trends, myths, frequently asked questions. So I think you guys are gonna love the information, the format, the conversation.
All right, without further ado, let's welcome Anastasia, Beauty Fascia. Okay, Anastasia, welcome back to Biohacking Beauty. It's a pleasure to have you back here.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me back.
We're so excited to have you back. Last time you were here, we got so much amazing feedback of your interview, your appearance, and it turned out that we share a lot of community. So our community was very excited to have you, and your community showed up in comments, be it on YouTube channel, on our Instagram, and people just love you. They love your course. They love the results they get. They say it's really fun, and I can second that. Since then, I took your course, and it's amazing. So I can definitely see that your method is not like anything else, because I've taken facial massage before, but the fact that you're able to condense so much information and guide through all of the applications and explain at the same time why we're doing what we're getting out of it, it's just fantastic. So for anyone who didn't listen to the interview number 1, we're going to link it in show notes. I highly recommend it, because there you will get the foundational knowledge of Anastasia Beauty Fascia methodology. But today we wanted to ask some of the most burning listener questions, follower questions, and I guess to still kind of set the tone for this conversation and for people that are not familiar with you or your work, I would love to ask you, when you look at someone's face or appearance and you're assessing their skin health, what do you pay attention to beyond skin appearance?
Yeah, based on my education, I'm assessing the structural relationships. And right now, I'm also assessing the skin is not detached from the lower layers. I'm assessing what type of health is underneath based on the skin. Not only, obviously, things like wrinkles, it's where your muscle connects, right? Like this is where it pulls, right? But it's also an area where the skin got dried out, right? Because otherwise, if you would fold a hydrated paper, it will never have a line. You fold in the dry paper. That's why the line appears. Otherwise, those bouncy toys, you can fold them as many times as you want. So the first, it's your genetic. What type of the skin you are? Are you a thicker skin person? And again, we're talking about the fat component, right? Then probably the wrinkles will not be your problem, right? Is there is a problem of different colors, like the color of your skin that also gives age away, right? What is the pigment? This is not, I wouldn't say it's my specialty, the pigment, but often the pigment appears again at the tensional spots of where the muscle pull, or I can say how the shadow hits your face I see how the shadow hits your face, and due to some of the, here's the more puffiness, here's the less, lack of fat and things, and how that looks on you. So this is where I'm assessing the structure. And besides the structure, you are not the structure. You are flexible under the gravity person that moves. So is your face. So is your jaw. So is your eyes. So I'm assessing the function. Right? The function of your face, how you breathe. Obviously, if you don't breathe, nothing else matters, right? There is different type of breathing. You can see the people that breathe in with their shoulders. It's if she's young, you might not see her aging pattern yet. But if I would see her in 3 years, I can kind of already predict where we're going to see maybe a big neckline due to all of this, maybe a huge lack of hypoxia of the tissue because of the vessels, important vessels going through this area, or maybe she's breathing like this. And she will be losing this jawline and tension in the musculature. So function and structure, and then skin health. Eyes assess skin health, but my mind assesses trying to see this skeleton relationships in between, not only skeleton but also soft tissue and fluid component. Because fluid component, it's whenever I talk lymphatic, everybody says we need to clean lymphatic. That's it. Let's get rid of it. No, that's bad. And I'm explaining you can't get rid of it. It's a fluid. It's a flow, right? It's something. It's a permanent. It's always going to flow. Some regions that the flow is compromised, we need to ask why they compromised. But the regions where the flow will be compromised, the skin will be compromised. The skin health on a long term, you can if the water in aquarium is dirty, are you going to really buy a new fish into there? You're trying to this feels, and no, if the area is stagnant, if the area hasn't been renewed, it doesn't matter how you try to mask it from inside, it's still going to show how dirty the aquarium. So a lot of I'm seeing, but I'm doing it only when people ask. I try not to do it without asking, because of course at the big places like airport, all I'm thinking is like, oh my God, let's forget anything I say. Let's just remember one thing: we breathe through the nose. Dot. Because ultimately if there is so many rules, people get confused and they don't know what to follow. So if I look at the 1,000 people in the day, and they're not they're not your followers, that are aware, they're not my followers. They just that's the only thing I would be like, let's start breathing through the nose. Dot. That's how I would start my novel.
We have a joke. In Israel, because we have a lot of in Israel we have a lot of emotional people. So there's a joke about a specific sect of emotional people. They say, their cooking book, the way that it starts is, first of all, calm down. First of all, relax.
Yeah,
That's exactly how you want a healthy skin. You want a clean skin. You want a beautiful skin. Let's start breathing through the nose.
Yeah.
I love that, and I think that's perfect to set the tone. And now I wanted to go through some of again the questions that we received from our audience, and most of them are trends, and I think one of the hottest trends is red light therapy masks. So we would love to know, do you use one? What do you think of it? Give us your point of view.
Yeah, I have one. I don't use one. I think everybody had one, when they just begin. Like you must have purchased one. I do use little panel. I just think it's more versatile because you can put it on your neck, on your back. Like for example, you can't touch really your back, so I like really put the light there. The worms, I like the worms. I had a surgery foot, so I thought investing in a small panel is even better than a mask. I also think if you understand the engineer behind it, if you look at small panel, it makes sound like a fan. So, and when you wear a cute mask, there is no fan, there is no. So, how did they do it? Like, so my idea that the masks and the panels has different strengths. I'm not going to go into that, but I would be very aware, because if something costs $30, or and just ask yourself, are you investing in something that is strong enough, right? The second point is you can have it, but you will still not get any benefit if you don't do it. And that's a problem. So just by buying it, it's automatically not doing it for you. It doesn't change your time management. You don't wake up 30 minutes before just because you bought it. Like, oh, you need to do an effort, right? So this feeling of you did something good, can you actually do it? And number 3 with the panels, number 3 and 4, have you seen the results before and after? Like, have you seen, there's a lot of research, but have you seen like a result in terms of like, oh, look, her jowl got higher, or look, her nose got slimmer? I feel like, when we change everything, we don't change anything, sometimes in something like this. So here it's not because I don't believe, I just want people to manage their expectations and understand they need to do it. It's like if you think about aquarium, you're not changing the water, you're not sending the fluid, you are changing the cell of the water. You still need to move it. It's not unblocking your neck. It's not working with your eyes. You're still there. However, if you're going to start doing other thing, I think it's also very convenient. You just like, man, if you can't put the mask or turn on and sit in 20 minutes next to the red light, like, like, what are we going to do? Because I hear this rejection of people like doing something or investing time in something, or I don't have time. This is difficult. This technique is difficult. And I'm like, this is not about the vanity. It's about just a want to experience a new thing or learn a new thing. And if you don't have this, if you don't learn a new language, if you don't learn new skill, your brain going to age. So again, think about not just your skin, think about your head. So if you cannot motivate yourself, sit 20 minutes next to the red light, we have a problem. But this is how when I talk to people, they get very excited about the red light, but because they don't see a visible, oh, who did I lift it? They kind of go away after my 2 weeks. 2 weeks where people pick, and so yes, get a panel, get a strong panel, do it, but manage your expectations. And give yourself at least 60 days, like, man, like it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So challenge yourself like this.
We are stopping this for a special announcement.
Yes, we're stopping this exciting conversation to read a listener review.
Yeah, the reason we're doing it is because the reviews are the engine that lets more people discover this podcast. And we believe that this is a way for us to change people's journey through life, experience with their skin, experience with their health in general. And we want to reward you if you wrote a review that we are reading on air. So
today, we're going to read Rebecca's review. Girl in her 30s, thriving thanks to this podcast.
Just going to say, if we read your review, you're getting as a gift a free product. You should DM us on Instagram or send a message through service@younggoose.com. Let us know we read your review and you're going to get a free product. Girl in her 30s, thriving thanks to this podcast. Thank you for making this podcast available for everyone. So much advice I have learned about diet, skincare hacks, and met interesting brands that help my body. I personally admire you both being new parents and staying consistent in skin routines and habits. Brings me hope for myself whenever I become a mother. In parentheses, it scares me sometimes how breastfeeding can take your collagen. Well, we were just talking about the baby drinking up the mama's iron. So yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a question. Recently got a red light mask. Is it recommended to do blue light in the morning and red at night, or too much? I'm doing blue peptide with green tea serum, which is now LADR, and after use daily moisturizer. How many times a week is recommended? Winter episode was amazing. Thank you for all your team. Much love from Rebecca. Rebecca, in short, blue lights for acne. Don't worry about skin benefits for that. Just do red if that's what you want. And 3-4 times is recommended. You can do it. Masks are not that strong. You can do it daily. Or 2 times a week is enough if you want to take the least amount. But anyway, thank you very much.
Okay, and now
Yeah.
let's get back to our conversation with Anastasia Beauty Fascia.
Yeah.
We completely agree, and we actually talk, like you bring up so many good points, and we say the same thing about the strength. Like, if you're already investing into red light therapy, let it be a panel that's connected to the wall. And like you mentioned the fans, that's what cools off the engine when it actually produces power and does give you a strong enough like ray of photons to actually do all of those benefits that are attributed to mitochondrial health and whatnot. And with the most red light therapy mask, cheap or expensive, you just can't get to that. They're not going to be strong enough. And then in terms of like consistency, that's always the key. And I don't know if you heard, but there is such a term now as red light therapy naps. So people stack napping and red light therapy. So at least they can do two things together. And sometimes they stack more things. Like they'll put meditation, they'll do like a breath work, like couple things. So yeah, I hope people find the time, make the time. I think similar to you, like the red light therapy has research behind it and it has benefits, but as part of the approach, and nothing's going to work if you do it one time or you just purchase it. It's on
For
the shelf.
sure.
We
For
have
sure.
I'm a diagnosed idiot, okay? Whatever there is an idiotic thing to do, I'll do that. So we have a Tesla. I bought extra, I paid extra for the Tesla to be stronger. The fact that I'm driving like a grandma in chill mode the whole time, it doesn't matter. The story is that the Tesla has more power. And I think red light therapy is very similar to that. What I mean by that is, if you're not going to, red light therapy has a lot of data around improving the results you're going to get from working out. You're not going to get those results if you're not going to work out. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So the potential is there. You increase tissue potential, also not by a lot. And that's, to your point, it's going to take you from 85 to 88%, from 91 to 92%. That's when you're going really all out and you're looking for those just extra percentages. By the way, it's incredible for professional athletes. That's the difference between, if you see the people running 100 meters in the Olympics, number 1 and number 9, the difference between them is like 0.01 second, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. If you can improve 1%, it's a difference between, again, a medal in the Olympics and not qualifying,
Mhm.
But to your point, you cannot, there are so many other things. Even, you can do all the red light therapy you want. Usain Bolt or whoever, what's the name of the tennis player that you like?
Djokovic?
No, the girl.
Oh, yes. Now I'm blanking.
Okay, the one that
Sabalenka.
Sabalenka, okay? She can stop doing anything and she's still going to beat you at tennis. You know what I'm saying? Like there is genetics, there's so many things that go into play.
Absolutely.
And those what we call like accumulation of 1%, they matter, but they matter very late into your journey, very, very late into your journey. In the beginning, to your point, you might not want to start with them because it just packs more things that you need to do. Panel is a great idea because it really, as long as you take time and you do other things, you could do your course, depending if you can look
The
through
neck.
the red light
The
or
ones
not.
that doesn't need a mirror.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could do that. You could do the neck. You could do breathing. You could do many things. So it's a great idea within the confines of stacking.
Stacking.
But to take it as a modality and prioritize it, I think it's a problematic concept. And I think because it's such a, people like things. People like to buy things. As you said, people normally buy something. You get excited by a new shiny
object.
Actually, in this aspect,
Very
it's really shiny.
Very shiny object.
So the new shiny object, it's true. But as I said, I think you should qualify to it. People should do your course, let's say, and reward themselves at the end of the course with a red light device,
Absolutely,
right? Something like that.
Absolutely. And I believe it's not because like buy my course. It's because you need to stay motivated, and motivation and telling people. I had different stages. First, nobody believed me. Second, who believed start doing, we waited for their results. Then, more people start believing. But I know you need to do it. Once you do a couple things, it's going to get lifted. You're going to look at me like, she didn't lie, and you're going to get excited. But if that's not going to get lifted, you're going to be like, well, like, there is no motivation of doing something for 30 days if you haven't seen a benefit from it before it. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is, because people are, it's not a problem of lack of information. You can go on YouTube. You can get anything, how to get apps, how to get this, how to get that. But why people are not sticking to it? Because they don't feel it. They don't see it. They don't feel different. They do that 8 minutes up. And then after third day, they understand, like, I'm an idiot, like, I don't feel, I'm the same way, the one that was doing it before, like without this video. People need to feel different. People need to change their identity. And the red light won't do it. The red light, the effort of buying red light, it's not equal enough to change the identity of the person that take care of themselves, of the person that is ready to transform. Again, you've said the correct thing. In my world, when I talk about, like, when I study or I teach, we go 0.01 millimeter, because for us 0.0 lift, it's wow, we are like almost like we're going to surgeons get nervous. We lifted it for 1 millimeter, with our hands. But when I say it to the people, they're like, what? That's nothing. But it's a lot for somebody who is almost there. That's, as you said, like those special athletes, almost there. Like, you're almost there. But if you want to be just a little bit better, it's a great material, but it won't motivate you enough to stick or to explore the whole world of new self-care. It won't. It's not a ticket to the excitement, because it's like, for me, maybe for you, you're going to be like, oh my God, I have the best program. I go, I meditate. I changed my life. I'm like, I don't think so. If it is, maybe for somebody,
I'll tell you something. I will even break it down more, and you're saying something super intelligent, super interesting, and it's about dopamine. Is when are you getting your dopamine? Red light therapy, the biggest dopamine hit is at the point of purchase. I never thought about it like that. You said something very interesting.
Yes.
And with going to the gym, not the 8-minute ab, really going to the gym, okay? Or, correcting your diet, correcting your hormones. We're talking exactly, when we invest effort, the dopamine hits come later. By the way, they can come from the fact that we've challenged ourselves for a while. But I'm going to now even challenge you a little bit more. I'm going to tell you a story, and let's see what you think. I'm going to try and not like to lead the witness too much, In the early 2000s, or even a little bit before, there was a device that was developed for estheticians, for facialists, in order to help products penetrate the skin. And that device had a galvanic current that it provided. It basically closed an electric current together with the skin, and the two electrodes that it had, it looked like a little fork.
Yeah, there's somebody.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
I want it.
and what happened was
Mm.
that that the estheticians noticed that when the client exited the room or after that treatment, the muscles, because we worked them a little bit, they were a little bit more engorged. They had a little bit more blood in them. They were a little bit more tense. So the results were great, and estheticians started wanting them as a device to show results after the treatment, not necessarily to assist with getting products deeper into the skin. That's maybe a
Mhm.
science for a different episode, how it does it, but it does it. Anyway, along comes new skin in, I think, again, mid 2000s, and starts a small device at home, and you could do it at home now, only for the lifting effect. And I think probably a few years ago, really the coup de grace as far as like the consumer was, I think, Medicube, a company that made $1 billion off of this device. So they have many other things, but they made $1 billion off of this device. Every celebrity was using it. And TikTok, I think, became really, really, really kind of pushed it into our consciousness. And I think here we're talking about the biggest dopamine hit is exactly when you finish each treatment. It's actually, I'm not gonna lead the witness, but what is your opinion about those? Skin gym was a little bit before, right? There was like
Yeah, so these treatments are super popular, but in your opinion, what can they realistically do change for the customer long term?
are they
Well,
good or are
first
they bad?
question, yeah, why people feel better? Well, when you touch lightly your face, you relax the whole brain. So
Mhm.
people, whether you touch it with their hands, whether somebody else touch it, even there's different sensory. Whether it's like just a light strokes, it comes down. Our bodies, our brain sees the face. So I understand where the parasympathetic comes in, and where's maybe not even a serotonin comes in, like a different type of. So I can see why you wanna come back. In terms of, do they do something? Do they lift the tissue? Do they work on your tongue strengthening? Do they relax the muscles, which means get rid of the wrinkles? Because we know that wrinkles is static, it's a tensed muscle. No, they don't. Do they work on preventing fibrosis on the scalp, which is 1 second of your head that determines how your frame of the face will age? No, they don't. Do they do harm? No, I don't think so, unless you do it wrongly. I know there's been about the Medicube and like Bell's palsy next to it, like a
Yeah,
nerve and things like this walk. I think it wasn't like we
yeah.
know that Bell's palsy, it's a herpes infection that attacks your nerves. It's it's not so it's like increased circulation could have caused it, right? Like, but I don't connect it. It's straight to straight. Can this, because of this, the penetration goes deeper? I feel like it would had, like, really realistically, we would see the research. Again, as you said, $1 billion company. If my
Yeah.
product I would already have 50 models, and like, like where it's like transparent. I would create, I would like Vivo, ex Vivo. No. So, but there is a feeling of it? Yes. There is a concept of, we already very aware and educated. You are educated customer, right? You are customers that already have a collection of sunscreens. You understand that skincare doesn't go in, right? You understand about the molecules. You might be not a chemist. You don't understand the delivery factories, but you want to buy because it sounds right. Something will just push it through your skin. Duh. Yeah. Why we didn't do it before? But did it push it, and how far it would push it? And then I would ask a question. What are you pushing? Are you sure what you're pushing you can get in case you were not planning to push that? Like, then if it truly gets in, do you understand that this, they call it triangle of, triangle that goes straight to
Yeah.
your brain? Maybe was a cut and now you pushed it and then it got, oh my God, here's a brain infection. Like I'm exaggerating, but if it would be that serious, they should have asked about these questions. Correct? If it would go that deep. So they would already have to check, the same with the other like things like spicules and other things that I understand the concept. We want this, yes, but we need to be aware, and I don't think it's that serious. Again, I don't think it's that serious. Again, if you it's your last money and this is where you think you're going to invest and totally reshape the way you look, no, it's not. It's not.
Got it.
I love that
Agree?
answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Right next to those at-home, massage devices, there we have some like ancient tools, like Gua Sha, facial cupping. Those are also very hot and popular, like the brushes. People use the brushes now to stimulate lymphatic flow. What are you thinking of those? Are any of those helpful as part of protocol? I mean, can they be harmful? What are your take on any of those modalities? And you can go one by one or group them all together. It's up to you.
Oh, well, there's a different time. Let's start with Gua Sha. Can it be harmful? Depends how crazy you're about it. I'm sure you have seen also those videos with, people that looks like they know what they're doing, but they have like a red all over their back, and they're like, yeah, this is what Gua Sha is scrubbing my toxins. And me and you probably too, the one that like respect the skin like a baby, like you're like, oh my God, what is this? Did the person fell off or from the car with like, and an incident happened? This should not look like, healing. This should not look like healing. Sounds like it must heal. Otherwise we have a big problem. It's painful, right? So, but on another ancient side, for some people, that's exactly how they want it, So I think for like a more like a Western approach of the skin, that's sometimes they crossing the lines. The same with the cupping, when it's like a vascular, clearly breakage of the of your vessels, and you're like, yeah, we found the 10th spot. No, maybe, but why? What you gonna do about this now? We're gonna wait for a bruise for the person.
Really hard to fix.
Especially on the face. Go laser. Then regarding the cupping, we understand the mechanism. Where it sucks in. People like with rosacea, their already capillaries are really under the question. So not for everybody, right? Then Gua Sha is a practice of lymphatic drainage, is a practice of tightening the skin due to the drainage of the skin. When something gets less fluidy, it's like supposed to get like tighter, right? Like a vessels, like not the vessel, like a threads. For some people, you need to do it, right? Because your derma is under huge stagnation, right? But again, you don't need to do it for 10 minutes. What are you doing there for 10 minutes? Like, come on, in 10 minutes, I can do the whole body. It's a drainage. You just you moved it this way. If it didn't go, that means it's not for Gua Sha. It's a bigger problem. It's like people like, I know for sure my under bags, it's a lymphatic stagnation. And I'm like, no, your under bags, it's a potentially hernia, it's a potentially fat back, it's a potentially tense back muscles. If you just go there with Gua Sha, they will not disappear unless you just literally have just a slight puffiness. This is. But if you are 45 years old woman that buys this Gua Sha and like, okay, let me Google under bags Gua Sha, the first video, second video, third. I'm gonna do 5 per day because in 2 weeks I have my daughter wedding, and I'm gonna get rid of them. That's a bad idea. That's
You're
a
gonna
bad
you-
idea.
you're gonna
She
get to
will
the
look
wedding with one
worse.
eye.
No, she will
Yes.
get with a sagging skin.
Yeah.
In the wedding, she will get with like that depuffed, gold look. She might,
Yeah.
again, if she did it once, nothing will happen. But if she's, I don't know, I have some people that are like, can I do 4 classes per day? I'm like, what? No. Like, what are you thinking? When is
I'm
the
impressed they have
ski-
the time, but it's nice that they're so passionate.
but it's
Yeah, but
the
it's too
skin
much.
needs time. The skin needs time. The skin, it's not about doing it for 50 minutes. It's about doing it 50 minutes per 3 days, not in once, right? Like skin needs time, especially some zones that are clearly. And if you do it without in an apartment without no mirrors, you can be in trouble. But if you do it with the mirror, if you get that feedback, you should stop. When it doesn't look like it's good. So regarding like how to like the golden rule of all modalities, whether it's cupping, whether it's this, don't do it too much if you're not sure that you need it, and look at the mirror. Worsening, it's 1 hour, 2 hours, like some. Yes, if you feel that you are not looking better and better, and again, think about yourself. Look at yourself from the far and think about like, is the wrinkle going to make you look prettier, or is maybe changing your posture, working on your things like this going to make a bigger difference? But again, nothing. I think there's nothing that should stop us to have Gua Sha at the toilet, where we clean ourselves, and then you put the water and you 2 seconds you're out. Just to, if you want to do it. It's 2 minutes in a restroom room before your morning cleaning. It shouldn't be. Again, I'm talking from the position of more in a slimmer type of face, or the person who doesn't need that drainage. A person who eats a lot of salt, who is thicker, who when you touch that person muscles, you can't even grab the muscles because the skin is so like a balloon, right? Like a balloon skin. Those very thick. They might need to do a Gua Sha just so they can enter, but again, it's not going to get to relax like the attachments next to the bone. Otherwise, people say, why? But I feel like Gua Sha can go deeper. And I'm like, do you also feel that it's a stone? So, you're pushing the stone into your face close to the bone. No. Let's do it with the fingers. Let's do it with a sensitive feedback. That's why they do it like this. They are not doing it like dragging. And now I feel like people find out that muscles connect to the bone, and now they start dragging, and that's bad. Like that's bad. Like there is some things that's bad.
Wow, this has been such an incredible interview that, and actually we took a very long time to cover many subjects. So we are going to have to cut this episode into 2 separate episodes, which of course is a great win for everyone, because you are going to get, if you like the conversation until now, wait until you listen to part number 2 of our interview with Anastasia Beauty Fascia. That's going to come out next week. So stay tuned. There is much more to come, and I hope you will enjoy the second part at least as much as we did recording it. See you next time.